The road we're on is paved in Garth.
Come along on the journey
as we explore
Garthology.
Think of it more as a conversation. I like that. So if this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin. Showtime!
Hey everyone, it's Deb.
And I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess.
Welcome back to another episode of Garthology. In today's episode, we are continuing our review of Garth Brooks' Ultimate Hits DVD, which was included in the box set, Blame It All on My Roots, 5 Decades of Influences. So let's get right to it. In our last episode, we covered the first 3 videos. So today, we are going to cover the next 5 videos. So videos 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on the DVD. Starting with video number 4, which is Friends in Low Places. Friends in Low Places was written by Earl Bud Lee and Dwayne Blackwell. The music video was directed by Michael Solomon, Marty Callner, Bud Sachel, Joe DeMeo, and John Small, and was taken from the Garth Live from Central Park concert video as first seen on HBO. The highlights for me on this one are the confetti guns. I will always love those confetti guns. Seeing him shoot those, seeing Trisha help him shoot one, that just makes me happy. So that's a super highlight for me. I love seeing him in his Mo Better shirts. That brings me way back to the 90s. I love those shirts. I love his hat tilt at the end of the song, but most especially in this video, I love Garth's pure happiness at the very beginning of the video. He just looks absolutely thrilled when he plays those first notes and everyone realizes what song it is. I just love how happy it makes him. You can just see happiness pouring off of him. For me, this video is just the epitome of a Garth performance. He's absolutely in his prime in this one. Okay, Pete, I'm tossing it to you. What do you think of it?
Yeah, Friends in Low Places is the anthem that we all talk about. And to be honest, one of my favorite videos of Garth, and the music or the videos that are related to Central Park and The Win. We got to see some amazing videos from Central Park, but this song, the way that he starts on the guitar and then everybody goes nuts and then he stops and he says, for my next act, it's just great. He's got that entire park in the palm of his hand. It's all amazing. But the one thing that I noticed, and I noticed it in the first couple songs, no cell phones, no cameras, just everyone having a blast and enjoying Garth's music. I love how they change from venue to venue in the video, right? I mean, he's, obviously at Central Park, and then he's on one of the ships that we have in our military. You see the same thing over and over again, and it's just people loving and singing along. The introduction to the third verse is always the best. After Central Park's, that's special. I always say, here we go, in in my mind, because as he's introducing the third verse, as they're getting ready to get the band started, he goes, here we go. And so now, for whatever reason, every time that I hear the song Friends in Low Places, before he gets to that third verse, or even when we've seen him in concert, he'll say, he talks about the third verse. I always in my mind say, here we go. So that's always something I just kind of, laugh about. And again, I go back to these videos. Can you imagine just one time in your life, standing on a stage, which was a huge stage, but compared to the vast amount of people that were there, just one time in your life, standing on a stage that small, being surrounded by a mass amount of people that large, and just listening to them all sing that back to you. It's unbelievable. Again, in the videos and watching them on these DVDs, I always love the great guitar smash, as well. That's got to hurt your hands, but I love how they smash the guitars in the video. just a lot to do with the song in the specials between Central Park and The Win, because The Win was a special one as well. But yeah, Jess, what about you? What do you think about Friends in Low Places?
I agree with you guys on pretty much everything you said. I think for this song, a live concert was 100% the way to go. The way the crowd goes wild with just those first notes at the beginning is so epic. And Deb, you mentioned that. And then Pete, like you said, where he's like, for my next act, that it's just funny. Like, I love that they put that in the video. It makes me laugh every time. All the crowd footage is just so much fun. And that it perfectly represents the Friends in Low Places crowd, like the Garth crowd. You get such a good sense of it with this video. And also it's just an instant pick me up because it is a perfect window into a Garth live show. Like, I mean, granted, those were some big shows, but that's still just the feel that you get at any live show. And I think this represents it probably more so than any other single song, I think. But most of all, I love that the video includes the extra verse at the end, because even I found myself like, I couldn't remember as I went into it. I was like, does it have, because the live shows that we've seen so much, they always do the third verse. And I was like, I'm sure it does. But then I was thinking, well, I don't know, because this was a video that they played, you know, on TV. And so then I was waiting. I was like, because now I don't remember if I'm confusing the actual live show with the video. And I was like, oh, they included it. So I really loved that too. But I think it was a really good choice for this one to definitely do the live concert footage.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. Epitome of Garth right there. All right, let's go on to video number 5 on the Ultimate Hits DVD, which is Unanswered Prayers. The song was written by Pat Alger, Larry Bastian, and Garth Brooks, and the video was directed by Marty Callner and Michael Solomon. This is another video taken from the Garth Live from Central Park concert on HBO. So here we have another concert video, and I get the feeling from these that they understood the assignment. These concert videos really play to Garth's strengths. So it makes sense that we get, quite a few of these on the DVD. The Central Park concert was record-breaking, and Garth is very much at the top of his game, like I mentioned before. And this is another video that really proves that. For this one, the highlights for me are when Garth just sits down on the stage at one point during the song and just plays his guitar and sings. I love that part. It's so personable on his part. It shows that he's not like out there trying to be all Mr. Performer. He's just going to sit down and enjoy the moment. And I love that. But for me, the best part of the Unanswered Prayers video is definitely the crowd singing the lyrics back to him. I mean, you get to hear that record number of people singing those lyrics back to Garth. And there are so many moments where he just stops and you can tell he's just taking it in, and he kind of tears up, and without fail, every time I tear up as well. So I just love that part. That's probably one of my favorite parts in the entire Central Park concert. Okay, Pete, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, Unanswered Prayers is one of the all-time best from Garth. And Auntie, just like you were saying, this song and the way that the people, including myself, sing it back to him every time, no matter what, will always be special. No matter where he's at, what show he's putting on, if he sings this song, the way that the people, including myself, sing it back is special, Auntie, to follow up on what you were saying. A couple things here for me personally. There's a part where Garth says, "Very cool." And my best friend, my brother-in-law, Jeremy, heard it when him and I used to watch it. And he has always loved how Garth said it. And to this day, in every conversation that you carry with Jeremy, at some point, one way or another, he's going to fit in. Oh, it's very cool. Very cool. He says very cool in everything. And I love it. I love that when I hear it, I remember my lifelong best bud, Jeremy, like when Garth says it. And then when Jeremy says it, like I remember Garth and the amount of times that Jeremy and I spent watching the Central Park show. Second thing about this, the lighters that the people use in the video, and now it's flashlights like on our cell phones. There's just so much. It shows you how many or what's changed, in this amount of time. there's so much to be said about the song, but just the way that the people sing it back to Garth says enough. That's my thoughts on it. Jess, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, very similarly. My takeaway from this one is always Garth's joy and how surreal it must be for crowds that size to sing, I think, not only your song that you perform and made famous, but your song that you wrote, that came out of your heart and your mind, that you crafted and found just the perfect way to say what you wanted to say and how to convey that sentiment. And then to have it resonate so much with that many people, that volume of a crowd, and that they know every word you wrote and they can sing it straight back to you with such feeling. That has to be such an insanely proud and moving moment. And I almost can't even really comprehend it because I don't think you could unless you experienced it and lived it yourself. But every time I see the video and just how the crowd is just right there in unison the whole song, knowing that those were words that came out of him, like, I just think that's so cool, and it makes it such a cool video.
Yeah, I can't imagine that feeling. That doesn't comprehend. Like, my little brain can't take that in.
Could you imagine just at the residency he just got done doing in Vegas? Can you imagine just sitting up at one of those bar stools back there, drinking a beer and just listening just to that? I mean, that was a much smaller crowd than what we're accustomed, but just listening to that amount of people just sing it back. Man, what a special, special thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then just make it somewhere between 750,000 and 1 million people singing that too.
Yeah. Crazy.
No, my brain cannot. Literally, it's like the little emoji of your head just exploding.
Just exploding.
Big eyes.
Yeah.
Now we will go on to the 6th video on the DVD. Video number 6 is Two of a Kind, Working on a Full House. The song was written by Warren Haynes, Dennis Robbins, and Bobby Boyd. This one was directed by Joe DeMeo and is another concert video, although on all the other ones we've gotten through this far that were part of the Central Park concert, the video specifically said that. In this one, the DVD does not indicate that it's from the Central Park concert. So I think it may just be compilations from maybe his tour, but for whatever reason, they didn't use the one in Central Park. This, without a doubt, is one of my favorite songs to see Garth perform live. So I'm so glad they used a live performance video for the video on this DVD. This performance is no exception. He's absolutely amazing in it. We get the Garth that we all love. He's running around the stage. He's playing with the audience. He's just having so much fun that for the entire length of this video, I was right there with him. I was having so much fun. So I absolutely love this one. And for me, this video in particular proves exactly why Garth was named Entertainer of the Year 7 times, because he absolutely shows it in this video.
Yeah.
Okay, Pete, what do you think?
Yeah, Two of a Kind is an awesome and always fun song to turn up and sing out loud. The video shows that it's the exact same way for Garth and the band that it is for us at home, because they're all having a great time. We talked about how stationary Garth was in the early videos, like on the last episode. And this song, this dude is all over the place. The band's all over the place. It's like, you get dizzy, motion sickness watching this video. When he heads over to the side of the stage and sings that part, we will find some country music on the radio. Like that, I now know that. Anytime I hear the word radio in a song, it's exactly how I want to sing it, whether it's Garth singing it or not. I just love that part of it. This, like a video like this, or the activity in which Garth performs with the band, like you were saying, it goes on to show why he was a 7-time entertainer. Like he knew that it was going to take this to be a country music superstar and an entertainer. And now, just to think about it, right, not too long ago, he was still on stage doing the same thing at 60 years old or whatever it is. Like, it's just crazy to see him doing it then and now. Just a good fun song. Jess, what do you think about Two of a Kind?
So the first thing I noticed in this one is the improvement in the video quality. There is a marked difference between the early and late 90s as far as the live concert footage goes.
Made a little cash to put on some higher graded cameras.
Yeah, like an insane difference. It's so much clearer. But obviously, like you guys said, this is another live concert performance, and Garth excels at that. So it makes sense that they would lean into that when it comes to video production. I think, like Friends in Low Places, this is another perfect window into a live Garth show. If you've never been able to experience that, or if you're just missing seeing that, this is a great one to just pop in on the DVD to remind you like what that live feel is like. I love that it features all the running around and shenanigans of the live show that we're all used to, that happens on those up-tempo songs. And this is kind of the next best thing if you can't make it to a live show. Also, I can't really imagine what this video would have looked like if it wasn't concert footage. Like, I was trying to picture something in my head, and I was like, I don't know, the concert footage just fits it.
Yeah.
But so I think this was the way to go with this song for sure.
Yeah, like Friends in Low Places. How do you do either of those songs and not have it be a live performance song?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a story. Like, you could come up with something for sure. They could have gotten actors or whatever, but to me, this is a better fit for this song.
Absolutely. I agree. All right, on to the 7th video on the DVD. Video number 7 is The Thunder Rolls. The song was written by Pat Alger and Garth Brooks. This is what would be considered, I guess, a traditional music video. It is not a concert performance. It was produced by Martin Fisher and was directed by Bud Schatzel. The music video shows a disguised Garth cheating on his wife and then violently abusing her. Garth decided to play the bad guy, the philandering husband himself, so that he could, as he is quoted as saying, make sure the character was so despicable that the whole viewing audience wanted to shoot him. And for that reason, I guess, seeing him that way, the topic of the video, it makes it a really tough one for me to watch. And honestly, I very rarely do. And for the research of this, I watched it once. I agree it's a very important topic and it should be discussed. So I see the value in it, but I just don't like it. I don't like seeing Garth that way. Yeah, I don't like it, but I understand the importance of it. The original audio recording of The Thunder Rolls only has 3 verses, as we all know. However, for the music video, Garth chose to kind of allude to that 4th verse that we all get to hear, when he performs it live. And he did that by, in the video, including the woman reaching for the pistol. I think it does a good job of tying the two together without trying to put the audio in there that wouldn't have made sense because the original recording didn't have it. Shortly after the release, the video was banned due to the violence depicted in it. But 6 days after TNN and CMT banned the video, VH1 decided to start including it in their regular rotation. At the 1991 Grammy Awards, the music video was nominated for Best Music Video Short Form, and that year it ended up winning the CMA Video of the Year award. So, Pete, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the Thunder Rolls, from that old-ass worn-out motel sign, like, you knew that this song, it was meant, like, there was going to be trouble in this song. Even knowing all the lyrics, like that, I think that just kind of sets the stage. It all starts with a man and a permed mullet, which I thought, we know as Garth or whatever. And I looked at it, I was like, wow, like this song can't mean anything good. The video just makes me feel the lyrics to the song so much more than I already did. Like, when it's on. To watch the story behind the lyrics, it's hard to watch. Andy, I agree. I didn't enjoy watching the video. I've seen it a number of times, and there's long periods of time in between when I see it and when I see it again. And it, doing research, going through and watching these videos, I'd watch them 2 or 3 times and make notes. This one, I watched twice, and I figured I had enough out of it at that point. I know the song well enough where I didn't have to watch it anymore. Auntie, I did make a note here that it is crazy to see the extra verse, but not to hear the words to it. And like you said, it wouldn't have made sense, because that wasn't how it. But if you could just take that, cut and paste it again, it would all make sense. You could add it in there. because of what the song has done for his career, I could see this video being really, really high up in Garth's catalog. But I don't know that I would put it there because of how hard it is to watch. But it is something that this world has always struggled with. I think it always has in the past. It does currently, and it probably always will do in the future. There are ways to talk about it other than showing women getting abused, in my opinion. But ultimately, I mean, that is the truth behind it, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Thunder. Jess, what about you?
So I agree this was and still is a great video. It was so intense, and it definitely got a lot of attention. And like you guys, I don't love seeing Garth play the bad guy. But I do like that we got to see him as himself in the video also, how it kind of goes back and forth between the story and the artist. So that made me feel a little bit better. That wig, by the way, kills me. I mean, the video holds up, but that wig, not so much. It was so bad.
I gotta get one.
Yeah. You could go as that for Halloween. Right? Something I never really thought much about before, I think because the video was so controversial because of the domestic violence and gun violence, I think it just got overshadowed. But those sexy scenes between the cheating husband character that Garth was playing and the mistress were very steamy, especially for that time. And I can't recall many country music videos with that type of content. And honestly, if he put that video out now where he starred in it and had that type of scene, I would still be a little bit taken aback. I think I was so young when it came out, I just kind of accepted the video at face value, and I didn't really think about that creative choices were made and, you know, they have implications on real life or anything like that. I just didn't think about any of that when I was a kid. I was just like, it is what it is. The video is what it is. So I was like, dang, as an adult, I'm like, oh, he had to film that.
Yeah.
Also, when the character hits his wife and then sort of advances toward the daughter, I found myself, you know, she kind of runs upstairs scared. And I found myself wondering if he would have been able to do that scene a few years later when he had little girls of his own. Like, I don't know that he could have or would have played that scene that way, or maybe would have pushed back against it, because when that's your reality, it just hits different, you know? Like if he'd been picturing his daughter going home to his little girls, I don't know that he could have done that. Not to say that he regrets that role at all. It's brilliant, and it was a brilliant video, but I just wonder if it would have been different if it had come out later in his career after he was a dad.
Yeah.
But it was brilliant, and without a doubt, even though it's a tough one to watch, I mean, you know, it won awards, it got attention, it served its purpose. But man, as a fan, I think that's probably the roughest, other than maybe I Don't Have to Wonder.
I Don't Have to Wonder. I was
that
thinking
maybe
the same
is the
thing.
only video that's harder for me to watch, and this one might still be harder, but it is still good. It doesn't make me not think it's a good video. So I mean, that has to say something, right?
Yeah. It is tougher for me to watch than I Don't Have to Wonder, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm so disturbed by it. I just
no, I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't love it. But I get it. I understand why he did it. I wish he had someone else do it, play the part.
Yeah.
But you made a good point that I hadn't thought of, and seeing him as himself in different parts of the video, I didn't let that help me, and I should have, because I can see the point you make now.
Yeah.
That does help. That can help where you see Garth performing the song, and that helps take him out of the other role.
Yeah, and then he looks straight to camera at the end, and like he does throughout the video, like breaking the third wall, but at the end he looks sad. Like he looks at the camera like, what a tragedy. Like this just ended badly for everybody. So like that did make me feel better, of like he was outside of it a little bit.
Right. Yeah, that's helpful. I have to look at it that way. All right. Let's go on to the 8th video on the DVD, and that's today's last video. Video number 8 on the Ultimate Hits DVD in the Blame It All on My Roots box set is Rodeo. The song was written by Larry Bastian and was directed by Marty Callner, and is another video taken from the Central Park concert video, Garth Live from Central Park. This is another great video from the Central Park concert. I absolutely love the aerial view shots that are shown in this one. the crowd was just massive.
Massive.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
And this video shows it perfectly. So for me, that is definitely the highlight. I also love the moment in the video when Garth sings the lyric, "So long, girl, I'll see you." Like there's just something in his face that's absolutely adorable.
Yeah,
it's so cute. It's a close up on his face. I love that moment. So for me, those are the two real takeaways in this song. I love the whole performance. I love the whole video. I could watch it over and over and over again. But I love, love, love the crowd shots. And I love that adorable moment where it's Garth being Garth. So Pete, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, in my opinion, Rodeo was the best option to start the Central Park special. Talk about a song that could get a whole lot of people into a great mood right away. Like that set the tone for the entire show. The Central Park video shows how well thought out the camera work and how much planning went into that entire concert. From every angle, every possible shot, from the helicopter shots to the rail camera that runs along the stage, like the camera work for that concert, as massive as it was unbelievably good. And there's times where you can see shots from the helicopters and other cameras, how many tall, high up, I don't know if they're called scaffolding for camera, but camera stands. And it was like, camera people that would normally be like on top of a stadium or something. And they were just showing the camera angles. It was amazing. The helicopter story that they have for the Central Park, Garth talked about it for the insurance, is a great story. There's a lot of details or whatever, but to kind of break it down, they talk about the cost and the insurance that they needed to have the helicopter to fly over Central Park to, obviously get the helicopter shots. And then they decided that they were going to bring a helicopter in over a helicopter to show the helicopter over the stage. And they said that it instantly doubled their insurance cost. And that's just a great story. But they did not spare anything when it came to the cameras and the recording of this Central Park special. Garth talks about it a lot, like how he was so nervous about taking country music to Central Park, a place in New York, and wondering if the people are going to show up. But not knowing that amount of people were going to show up, it didn't stop them from spending every dollar that they needed to spend to put on the absolute best special and show. I think to this date, like I said, I know that there's hopefully something coming out with the whole Ireland thing that was done a couple years back. The win was great, but the win was very, very small. Real cool. Obviously, you expect real good camera work and something like that. But to go back today and look at how well Central Park was done then, man, amazing. And Rodeo was the perfect way to start it. Jess, what do you think?
Yeah, I love it. My favorite thing about this video is the "Hello, New York!" And he's just like close up and you can see the tears in his eyes. Because of course we know he had doubts if anybody was going to come or not. And so just that moment is such a beautiful moment. And it ended up being such a huge monumental thing in the end. So it's cool to go back now and watch that moment. It's ironic to me that the video opens with the Twin Towers, though, because since what happened on 9/11, I don't know that the city would ever knowingly put together a crowd of this size in such an uncontrollable way again. They still do large things, of course, and large scale things, but just letting the masses come in like that, I don't know how you would be able to do that in a post 9/11 world, because it was just a mass dissension on Central Park. Can you imagine? It talked about in the, specials and things about the risk management side of those helicopters and stuff, but look at that concert, the size of it for the city of New York, just the risk management now to try to put something like that together. So yeah, I just don't know. Probably the closest thing to that kind of pandemonium that they do now would be New Year's Eve at Times Square. And even that's very controlled. It's in sections. And I'm honestly surprised they still do that to the scale that they do these days. And so I think if you were lucky enough to get to be there and be a part of that at that time, that's extraordinary. But I don't think you're likely to ever, at least in New York City or probably the United States, be able to do something like that again. So kudos to all the people who got to be there, which was none of the three of us, but
not us.
Yes, but I'm so glad it was filmed and that they did it that way. Oddly enough, as much as I love this video and I think it was a perfect choice, I actually can picture this one as a more traditional video because I think it would just be like very high-paced, chock full of rodeo footage and hard falls and maybe like a Lane Frost cameo and just that kind of thing. And so I can see that in my head, but I am glad that they used the New York City footage instead because this really did make an iconic video and it captures such an amazing moment in time and in Garth's career. So again, they just know what they're doing. They know how to pick it.
Yes, they do.
Crazy how that works out.
Right.
All right, we've completed the first 8 videos on this DVD, so we are making our way. Next time, we'll keep working our way through the Ultimate Hits DVD lineup to discuss production, performance style, and of course, Garth's great storytelling. If you get a chance, give it another watch yourself and let us know how you feel about these videos today. Have you checked out our website at garthology.com yet? If not, stop by today and check out all of our past episodes. And remember to subscribe to our podcast on your podcast platform of choice. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, please stop by and hit that 5-star button if you like what you hear, then write up a quick review encouraging others to listen. Then be sure and share our podcast with all your Garth-loving friends. That way you can help your friends in low places become Garthologists too.
And speaking of friends in low places, if you guys are on social media, so are we. If you want to find us on Facebook, we are at facebook.com/GarthologyCast. If you guys are on Instagram, X, Twitter, Threads, or TikTok, we are at GarthologyCast there. We appreciate all the likes, tweets, retweets, direct messages, and comments. So keep doing what you're doing, and we will as well. We appreciate the support.
We release new episodes of Garthology on the 7th, 17th, and 27th of each month. So if you're missing Garth, come join us for an episode and spend some quality time with your fellow Garthologists as we relive the highlights of Garth's life and career up to this point and discuss the albums that have become the soundtrack to our lives. So until the next one,
thanks for joining us for today's episode of Garthology. And I'm Deb.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. And remember, love will always win.
Finish it! Finish it!
Bloopers.
Yeah, and speaking of friends in low places, if you guys are on social media, we are as well. You can find us at Facebook. We are at www.garthology.com. Why can't I remember?
Wait,
what in the world?
Facebook.com
/GarthologyCast. That's what it is. Yeah.